chat at? Where's my chatters? Where's all those people that chat? Where's all the chat? Hello? Whoa! 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 Do 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 do. We gotta warm it up. We gotta warm it up. Gotta warm it up. Gotta warm it up. Gotta warm it up. Up up up. Boo boo do 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 do. Wow 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 wow. Wow wow. Wow, 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 wow. Meow, 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 meow. Whoa. Mic check, mic check, mic, 1, 2, Friday. Look at that. Seamless transition, my friends. Seamless. Ha ha. Seamless transition into a Friday show. What's up, Friday? What do you know about it? What do you know about Friday? When you think about Friday, what do you know about it? This microphone stand is starting to lose its mustard, so if my microphone starts doing this, well, you know why. What's up, everybody? It's Friday. Good to be here today on a Friday. Coming at you late. Later than usual, back at the 3 o'clock hour. Because today's been a cuckoo nutty day. So, yeah. It's been a kooky McNutty day. Sorry. Didn't get home from work until like 10:30 last night. So, went to bed, got up, and then I had to fix my windshield because it broke my windshield on my truck. It got broke going to work. Sometimes when you drive too far to work all the time, your windshield gets broken. Needless to say, it was one of those days where you're like, that's not going to get a chip repair. Did that full-on spider web. Spider web, you know what I mean? It just went like this. And you're like, oh, that's going to need a replacement. Although, I will admit, I tipped the guy who replaced the windshield today because he was awesome. Those guys with the windshield repair were radical. Yeah. Those guys were rad. And he showed up early. He called me to see if it was cool if he could show up early. And I was like, you know what? I was going to go run to an appointment, but it was like a minor stupid appointment. And I was like, I need a new windshield. And he was like, yeah. So he hooked it up, came over early, got going, got that done. The dog escaped, so I had to fix one of our gates, which was broken, apparently. Needless to say, the gate was not broken, but it was there. A dumpster got delivered today at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I think that's when the gate got, air quote, broken. I don't think it got broken. I think it got left open with air quotes around it. Yeah, so Mr. Chips was found quite quickly. He was outside, right out there, standing on the street corner, like some kind of panhandling weirdo. Like he was out there just panhandling for snacks, for puppy snacks or something. I'm not sure what he was doing, but there's a dumpster here. Our kitchen is basically empty. The trailer, we had to go pick up the trailer from the trailer people today. That was chaotically stupid. I'm very frustrated about that right now. But it is what it is. So, that's why the show's late today. It has been hectic. I've been running around doing all sorts of stuff. I did a bunch of fish maintenance on my aquariums, which is nice. It's nice to be able to do some maintenance on my tanks and work with my plants and stare at my plants and talk to my plants and feed my puffer fish and do all that fun stuff. That's the highlight of my day. Now the dog is upstairs barking at God, Lord knows what. The Lord only knows what the dog's up there barking at. But we are only here because we are here. And why are we here? Why do we have the even ability to be here? We have to remember. We have the ability to come here on a Friday afternoon, talk about fish and or whatever. How is that even possible? It's possible because of viewers like you, like these people down here in the corner. We need to update these numbers. Patreon, whatever it's called. I can't remember the name of it, but you know, it is what it is. A bunch of people's credit cards got expired at the end of the month, so we took a significant drop.
but they're slowly coming back. So we're back up to 178 now. And the YouTube membership, I don't know. Somebody disappeared from YouTube membership, so we're down to 84. But because of that, we're able to do a little Friday action with the Friday show here. So thank you to all, whatever that number is when you combine it together. So you got 182 when you add the 4 over there, right? So 262 people. Is that correct? Did I do my maths correct? Did I do my math correct? Probably not. But hey, I think it's 262. 262 lovely sponsors. A bunch of you hang out on the Discord, which is fantastic. I love it. Normally, we do Patreon questions and stuff like that, but everybody hangs out on the Discord now. So if you want to do Discord questions, become a member or whatnot, and then you can be on the Discord. We got some lovely bristlenose talk recently. We've got 10-gallon overcrowded with plants. We got some albino pleco talk. There's a lot of pleco talk going on recently, which is good. We have some air plants. This is just one of the channels that's going on. We have, what are those called? Succulents. There's a bunch of people talking about plants, people talking about fish, air intakes, overflows, blah, 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 blah. Now, the problem is I can't really go with the Discord shares because there's so much Discord shares that we would literally be going channel by channel by channel on the Discord and being like, well, here's what happened this week on the Discord. And I'll just end up reading stuff to you all day long. So that's why I try to stick to the Patreon posts, but we don't have any today. So we're going freeform out here. We're doing that freeform jazz. Freeform jazz. You know what I'm talking about. Freeform jazz, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're going freeform, baby. We're just going to talk about whatever you guys talk about in the chat. Somebody's name was all highlighted on the Discord. What was that all about? Oh, it's because my cursor was hanging over their name. Yeah. All right. PipeX is here and says Discord is nice. That's right, yeah. Discord is nice. We can also do voice chat on there. You guys could legit be like, hey, who wants to get in the voice chat? And you can have a bunch of people in there. And it's like a phone call from your computer. Or your phone. You can actually do it from your phone, too, if you want. Yeah. Alana Suki says Mr. Chip should hold out for those good freeze-dried chicken treats. Don't sell himself short. Well, the thing is, I think Mr. Chip's treats are even better than the chicken treats. You know what I mean? I don't know what they are. It's like exotic imported. I mean, going based off of the price, this stuff is exotic imported, like leather made out of gold or something. I'm not 100% sure what it is, but I think they're on lamb and duck. I think they're on lamb and duck, I believe. I'd have to go look. We had to change to a senior diet food for our dogs. So, you know, I don't know what it is. Now it costs about $4 million a week. I have 16,000 jobs now in order to pay for the senior dog food, you know? So that's a thing. But it's worth it because I love those dogs. Aqua Blue Bear says, oh, man, I missed the start. 10 likes ain't right. YouTube's broke. Hit the like. I don't know. Who knows about the like button? You know, sometimes we try to encourage people to hit the like button. But I don't know. Does it matter? Does it really matter if anybody hits the like button? Like, who cares? I mean, people that want to watch this show, they'll watch it or they won't. I think that's kind of what it boils down to. So, it is what it is. I'm not advertising this show anymore. I put it in the Discord. That's it. If you guys want to advertise it, you can. If you don't, you don't have to. You could straight up take the data from watching this show and just throw it right in the garbage can. I don't know how to equate it, but it doesn't matter. We got a community here, and we're doing good. And if somebody wants to join, you're more than welcome to join. There's no requirement here. There's no pressure. This is the lowest pressure sales of all time. You'd be like, hey, are you here for the show? And they'll be like, nah. And I'll be like, ah, cool. I'll later. I don't even know. I don't even know how to get lower. How do you get lower? Yeah, who knows? Soapbox Debris is here. What's up? It is good to see you, Soapbox. So happy to see you. I guess maybe if I do the 3 o'clock, we get a whole bunch of different people showing up. If we do 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, we get all these different people. Gina's here. What's up, Gina? I swear, from if you've ever seen the 40-Year-Old Virgin, it is so hard for me to read the name Gina now and not say Gina. If you've ever seen that movie, or if you haven't seen that movie, The 40-Year-Old Virgin, I recommend going to watch it. It's a hilarious movie. It's still funny now. So, but I swear that's one of the funniest parts from that is when he goes on that speed dating thing and the Gina comes up and he's like, oh, hey, Gina, how's it going? And she's like, no, it's pronounced Gina. You're like, oh, man, intense, funny. You know, it is what it is. I forgot to say hi to the first in the chat, which was Pipex, Alana Suki, Kiwi, Mamo, Steve Bearteach, It's Nature Man, Zipgun, Michael Romero. Michael Romero coming all the way from, I want to say Missouri, right? Mike Kinseth, Dango Bicon. I haven't seen Dango Bicon in a really long time. Donald's Fish Vibes, who I think I said hi to already. Random Robert Renditions. What's up, dude? Freshwater Ichthyology. I like that. T-Bones Fishies. No, it's not. It's Saturday. It's Friday, dude. It's Friday. I don't know where you're at in the world where you just go around saying the wrong days. I don't know where you go around just saying the wrong days, you know, but it's Friday. It's Friday. It says right down here on the calendar. Look, Friday, May 7th, 2021. 21erd? Yeah, I think it's 21erd. I think that's how it is. VB23 says, maybe Harry Potter will make me a better fish keeper. Doubtful. I don't know if there's any fish information in those shows or books. Doubtful. I don't know, but doubtful. Well, maybe watching or reading Harry Potter will make you really like introspective, thoughtful, organized. Maybe that's how it'll do it, and it will improve your fish keeping hobby. Maybe. Nah, maybe. James Handy says, "Wow, is that your baby on the screen?" Yeah, that's how. If you're there, she is. There's a real life picture of her when she was a little tiny tyke, and then this is the blue ribbon Olivia. If you're a member on this channel, you will eventually get the badge. I'm gonna turn that. I'm gonna turn the one off that's behind there. Let me find that image. What image is it? Oh my god, I probably never named it. It's probably just a bunch of numbers. What is this image of? Yeah, well, let's go ahead. We'll remove that one. We don't need that back there anymore, hanging around in the background. Let's see. So it would be in front of the camera. So we're going to go ahead and remove that one and this one. Yes, we don't need that. What was this? Oh, that was the meme of the week. Aubrey made that. Aubrey made this one. Just crushing it. Just killing it. That was meme of the week. I'm gonna save that one. We'll leave that one in there. YouTube super chat alert doesn't work, so let's just get rid of that. What image could it possibly be? Is it this one? No, it's not that one. This is the really exciting part of the show, guys. This is the part of the show where I'm like, huh? What's going on here, dude? That's a text box. That's a text box. That's a text box. I don't know. I don't know where. Hold on. Let me select it. Can I select it? Oh, there it is. Oh my God. This has the craziest name. Audio take 1. Man, the picture of my daughter has the file name Audio Take 1. Wow. I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of that because I'll never remember that. There we go. This is a good part of the show where I'm like, hey. Aquatic Jack says mean, mean, mean. I don't know. What was mean? What was the mean joke? I don't know if there are many fish in the Harry Potter franchise, but if you like that kind of storyline, I would probably like it. I don't know. I mean, I think the Harry Potter books were pretty reasonable as far as I'm concerned. I don't know. I just read through them really fast and don't remember them being like wildly engrossing. So, I mean, it's just kind of a fun story. I mean, there's really no deep thought. I mean, obviously it's like a hero story and blah, blah, blah and all that kind of stuff. And then there's, religious parallels and ancient story parallels, but it's not that deep. It really isn't. It's realistically all driven behind the coming of age of these kids, and that to me is sort of like, okay, yeah. Oh, the Bert was mean. No, I thought the Bert was glorious. That won Aubrey meme of the week, dude. He won meme of the week. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was meme of the week. He won the award. It's a prestigious award. I mean, you can't just go around willy-nilly winning awards like all super random. This won the meme of the week award, which, by the way, very, 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 very prestigious award. Oop, I turned it back on. I turned it off. There we go. Yeah. So yeah, I don't think it was me. I thought it was hilarious. I mean, really. If I'm equated to Bert, I mean, it's funny. You know, I think it's funny. We have 13 more days until school is out. I think it might be 13 more years though. Sounds about right. But 2 weeks, it's not bad. I guess it's 3 weeks, right? 2.5 weeks or something like that. It's the school days. You get like 5 days, and then there's probably like that weird week where it's like you have one day that's supposed to be real, and then you have like 2 half days that are just completely not real. I don't know. Steve Bear Teach, I'm faced with making decisions about spending thousands on an operation for my 9-year-old dog. I absolutely love the old girl, but how far should I go with family finances? Well, I mean, that's a really difficult personal decision. I mean, like if you can financially, I mean, I don't know. That's a really personal decision. Like if you have the finances and it's something you can do, I say do it. If it's out of the realm of stuff, then don't. I don't know. I don't know how to equate that one realistically. Like, I don't know how to equate that in a way without kind of thinking about it for more than 5 seconds, but my base opinion is, I think if you have the financial ability and it's within the realm of not damaging the family life, then I say go for it. As Donald says right there, he has a friend spending thousands on a 16-year-old dog. I don't know about a 16-year-old dog because that would probably come into the equation that, like, dogs aren't going to live that much longer. But, that's a personal choice on what you want to do. But, that's just kind of really what it boils down to. Bentley Pasco was here and says he has no idea what day it is. I agree. Can barely keep track of the days anymore. Yeah, that's right. I have alarms that go off every day, and they tell me what day it is. And I look at it, and I go, oh, my God. Thomas L. Seidman. Hopefully I said your name right, Thomas. I could say the Thomas and the L part, but I think Seidman? I don't know. Do aquarium lights work for terrestrial plants? Yes. Yes, they do. If you have lights that will grow plants in your aquarium, they generally will work pretty much just fine for terrestrial plants. I often use a lot of my sort of older version Fluval 2.0 lights for garden starts, small plants, terrestrial plants, stuff like that. Things that I'm growing down in my sump can generally grow most everything under them. I haven't found any kind of problems with that. I also have a bunch of old T5 lights that I used to grow all sorts of little starts and things like that with. I just upgraded I just upgraded to the LED lights, so I just have kind of retired the T5s, and sorry, I just read the chat. How am I accidentally put in Dick Fade, dude, which just immediately made me laugh. Of like that, it's almost like a commentary on manscaping, which just immediately just made me laugh on that one. If you could have like a strong fade on your crotchal region. Which I bet somebody's probably done that, I would imagine. That made me laugh. Yeah. So what were we talking about? Oh, yeah, the terrestrial plants. Yeah, so if you have old aquarium lights and you kind of want to still use them, you can definitely use them for potted plants, indoor flowers. I think the one terrestrial plant I wouldn't recommend it on is any kind of pepper plants, because the pepper plants just require so much light. They require that just direct equator style blast of sun. That would be the one plant I would say that anybody would be growing under a light that may or may not work out well for you. But I've done it with tomatoes, cucumbers, basil, yeah. Got to watch out with the basil, though. As it grows, it gets too close to the light. It generally gets burned. Some thyme, some dill, some wheatgrass, blah. I've done a whole bunch of stuff. The list goes on, but I've done a bunch of stuff under aquarium plants that could easily be, or under aquarium lights that are terrestrial plants. So there we go. Hopefully that rambling answer was good for you. I don't know. Maybe it felt good. Dan Squires loves it. What's up, Dan? Where you been, my buddy? I love you. And you've been gone, but you're back. I love it. It's so good to see. He's out there just slogging away in Europe, trying to figure it out, and I love it. It's good to see you. Bentley says, one of my girls goes in for what is effectively a lady lift, as we've jokingly called it, next week. It's going to cost me $4,000, but it will be leaps and bounds for her well-being long-term. I don't know what a lady lift is on a dog. $4,000 surgery is pretty expensive, but one thing I would recommend to everybody out there, as far as this question that you guys are having right now, as far as animal surgeries, that kind of stuff, I would seriously recommend looking into some animal health insurance. It has been very helpful for us. I cannot remember the name of it, so I'm going to look it up here and see if I get the right one. Because I know it's getting publicly traded now, and it was a company that my friend Trupanion. This is the one that I can recommend. It's called Trupanion, Trupanion. As far as I know, it's a publicly traded company now. Their stock is doing phenomenally well. Wow. They're up. That's a 6.5% in one day. Buddy, just think about your portfolio. My friend started out with this company and has since moved on to a different whatever world, space, location, whatever. Very, very good company as far as I know. Fantastic, and it might be worth it for you guys. I got distracted because it's a publicly traded company, but she was there when they went and rang the bell, which was super, super interesting as far as I'm concerned. But Trupanion might be the way for you to go. Trupanion, I think that's how it's spelled. Yeah. But we have had health insurance on the dogs, and it has been pretty helpful. Obviously, you can get to a point where it could become too costly, but it was kind of one of those things like emergency vet visits, that kind of stuff, basic blood work and those kinds of things, and getting them in and getting them checked out and getting their nails trimmed and I don't know if you guys know this, but dogs need their butts squeezed, the anal gland thing and all that, and yada, yada, yada. But that has been extremely helpful, taking care of the dogs to make things not get out of this world expensive because you kind of have an out of pocket. You have kind of an out of pocket maximum for the year or whatever, and you can kind of just go like, well, all right, sort of deal. George Biss is here. What's up? Our homie from down south in Oregon says we have another aquarium club here in Oregon, the Oregon Capital Aquarium Society in Salem. Had their first meeting last Sunday in a park. Close to 40 people attended. I like that. I like to see the socially distant outside fish club meetings, which are going to be happening here over the summer. I hope to make my way down to Salem at some point in time to do some filming and some interviews and some talks to the Oregon people. I don't know when that's going to happen. We're going to figure that out. Currently, right now, I have my social distance fish travel tour mobile trailer situation, so I don't have to be staying in hotels and all that kind of crap. I'm figuring it out. We're figuring it out. We have the trailer. Things are happening. I'm just saying. At some point in time, we're going to be able to boot scoot boogie down to Oregon, probably over to Idaho. Consider picking up my grandma, driving her back, that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying. So I hope to make it down to one of those meetings to do some fish filming, some social distance stuff. I've been fully vaccinated, so that was kind of step one. Step two is getting Vicky fully vaccinated. Step three was a trailer, but we did step 3 first. Blah 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 blah. So we should be able to try to go to all the fish clubs down there. There are 3. There's one in Eugene, there's one in Portland, and one in Salem. So I really like to roll down to Oregon whenever I can. And there's some cool video stuff I want to go down there to make with some things that are going on down in the Oregon area. But pets is a large industry. That's very true, Mike. 100%. Market was nice and green today. Oh, the stock market? Yeah, I think the stock market was going up. It's still going up. It's still going up. Things are fine. Things are fine. I can't wait for the infrastructure bill stuff to start kicking. I hope that gets passed. I hope they triple it and pass it. That's what I would like to see at this point. But we'll see what happens, Aquatic Jack is sending requests for George to call him in the chat, which is good. I like that. I don't hate that. All right, what do we got here? I've been printing, CNCing, and fish keeping down to 2 tanks. Down 2 tanks, but the others are looking great. Well, that's good to hear. Sometimes you got to, dial it down a little bit. Donald's Fish Fives, Joel, a real sucky jobs report came out today. What say you? It's hard to say, what's going on with the jobs reports and stuff off the top of my head because I haven't read into them too much today. But it's pretty goofy to be, looking at the jobs reports and realistically making a solid assessment at this point because they had these massive growths, right? Where they're like, oh my God, there's so many new jobs. And it's no, those jobs are just back because they got canceled for COVID. The pandemic's still going on, all this kind of stuff. Though I will say that whether Biden's actually going to do it or not, one of the things that he was talking about was actually utilizing the executive branch instead of outsourcing a bunch of projects to utilize the executive branch in order to force them to buy American stuff on all these gigantic projects. That's apparently something that you could do, and he talked about that the other day, about how that's something that you could do since the 30s, since the Great Depression. The executive branch has had the authority to do that, and nobody has really been doing it since, you know, that one guy I like. You know that one guy I like? That one president guy that I really like? That one president dude that I really like? Do you remember that one president dude I really like? Can we remember? Huh? Do you guys remember that one president guy that I like? I'll tell you his middle name, Delano. He's the 32-word. The 32-word president. Elected, was he elected 4 times? I believe he was elected 4 times. Was he elected 4 times? I think he was elected 4 times. I can't remember. Because I think the 4th time he was elected, he died like right after that. Yeah, FDR was the first to recognize 100 days as a benchmark for the new administrations. Yeah, so I mean, you guys know I'm a big fan of Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Am I saying his name correctly? I think it's Delano is his middle name, right? Where's his full name? Roosevelt. Where's his full name? I think his middle name's Delano. Everywhere here. Oh, there it is. Franklin Delano. Yeah, there it is. Okay. I was like, geez, hold on. I'm starting to doubt myself here. I keep saying Delano, and it doesn't seem like a real word. So, but yes. Yeah, I think he was elected 4 times. He was the guy that... He was the guy that they had to make the amendment for, that you could only become president twice. You could only be elected to be president twice. And he did the conservative coalition. You know, he was a guy. He was a guy. I like that guy. He was a good guy, and I think we need more presidents like that guy. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what shakes out. But the jobs report's really like a critical analysis. It's like a tool to look in the overall picture of things that are happening. You know, it's like, you know, it's one of those things that like the jobs report might come out, but inflation might be stagnant. Interest rates might be stagnant. So you're kind of like, well, maybe the jobs are down a little bit, but it could just be a gear up or a seasonal thing because of, you know, companies are gearing up to you know, do acquisition or expansion at some point, or maybe they're not. You know, all that stuff is like super complicated, and to really give it a, well, the jobs are down, that's really kind of reactionary nonsense. So, but I would have to really start to delve into it if I wanted to give a realistic, good response. But my current interests right now are more, what do these big programs look like that are going to start happening, you know, in the fact that we know what's going on. Aquatic Jack says, should have done that with senators, congressmen as well. 2 terms? No, absolutely not. Limiting terms on senators and House representatives would be a monumental bad idea. It would be a horrifically bad idea. And I will explain to you why that would be a horrifically bad idea. Like, do you think they're corrupt now? Whether you think they're corrupt or not, do you think they are corrupt while still in office and hoping to get reelected? Just imagine that you had a senator that got elected the first time for 6 years. Then the second time they got elected, they know there's no possibility for them to get reelected. Can you imagine how insanely corrupt all of the second-term senators would be? Because there's no way for them to get reelected. It wouldn't be allowed. It wouldn't be allowed for them to get reelected. Do you imagine how insane the Senate would look? It looks crazy now. If you put term limits on senators and House representatives and stuff like that, there'd be no incentive for them to try to get reelected. They could just go completely bonkers for 6 years and then be like, well, that's the end of my term. Now I get to get my full retirement. Because those boys and girls get full retirement with health care, pension. They get paid forever. So if you elected a senator that couldn't get reelected after 2 terms, they could only serve for 12 years, right? And then just get paid forever. I'll tell you this much. I will tell you this much. If there was a limit on how many times, if there was a 2-term limit on being a senator, I would run for the Senate, because you could only possibly work there for 12 years and get 50 years of retirement. And that right there is just next level benefits, right? That would be benefits just beyond the scope of imagination. You make $100,000 in retirement every year for 40 years because you did a thing for 12 or 6. Bonkers. Yeah, just totally awful. What we need is easy access to voting, and everybody needs to be voting. We need to increase our democracy. There are many things that we could do to improve our democracy, like making it easier to vote, eliminating obstructions to vote, having, time periods where people can actually vote, and, maybe even force everybody to vote like they do in Australia. It's a requirement. Who knows? Salem, like Salem's Lot? No, Salem, Oregon. It's down there. Doot. The idea that money equals free speech only benefits those with a lot of money. No, not really. Not really. Actually, one of the strange things about like Citizens United that actually works for people like you and I is that, let's say that there's an election right now that I don't know is happening, right? And I want to get on my live stream here and I want to talk something, let's just say I wanted to just talk about something political, right? And somebody super chats $1. Technically, if it wasn't for the protection of Citizens United, anybody that was in that position could get in trouble, because you might be like advocating. You could be seen as advocating one way or another politically or whatever. So no, it doesn't just benefit people with a lot of money, but also at the same time, like if we want to combat the people with a lot of money, which I am 100% for, I think you guys can understand that I'm for that. We need coalition. We need large coalition. We need large organizations of small donors that can actually compete with that. And whether you agree or disagree with Bernie Sanders, that's a perfect example of somebody who has a large coalition of individual donors and stuff like that have been monumentally influential over the last 12 years. Bernie's been, I think he was elected mayor in like 1980 or something like that. But it being his life's work, you could not deny how effective that man has been. Jelmer says, came here for fish. Bye. Hide user on this channel. Banhammer. Bye-bye. There. I'll delete you. I'll delete you for you. Since you want to pitch a temper tantrum in the chat and just start doing crybaby stuff, I'll kick you out for you. So you can just go and then be free. And you can be free out there and do whatever you want. Joel, you should look up the Norwegian TV series Atlantic Crossing. According to that series, FDR became important to help Norway against the Nazis, and Norwegian crown princess helped to inform the U.S. As far as I know, like, As far as I know, that there was a pretty decent corroboration between Norway and the U.S. Like, I've never seen anything where they were like combative in any way, so I really wouldn't doubt that. But I would definitely love to check out some Norwegian TV. I don't get to see like enough Norwegian TV. I don't know if it's something that I should see lots of, but why not? Atlantic Crossing Masterpiece official site. PBS. Wait, what? Is this a PBS show? Let's see. Let's check the synopsis here. About the show, a princess steals the heart of the President of the United States in an epic drama based on the World War II relationship of Franklin Roosevelt and Norwegian Crown Princess Martha. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I will definitely check this out. Yes. Yeah, I'll check that out for sure. Why not? Why wouldn't I? I'm pretty excited about the new Star Wars stuff that's coming out. I have to admit, I do want to watch the new episode of The Bad Batch. The Bad Batch, it's actually like tying in a whole bunch of really cool stuff that I was looking, I think a lot of people were looking for answers for. The first episode came out, and it just answered so many questions. Don't worry, no spoiler alerts. I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'm just going to speak widely about the like, wow, they really like filled in the gaps with some questions and stuff that people had. Dan Squire says, news of Joe over here is super slow. It's like you guys have gone stealth mode. Is he good or bad? Obs better than before. Yes, obviously better than before, yes. I think realistically what Joe Biden is doing, whether you agree with it or not, doesn't really matter. But I think what he's doing at the point that he's at, I think what he's doing is looking historically at what has worked well in the United States. Like what has worked really well historically in the United States and what was phenomenally important historically in the United States. And I think what he's trying to do is implement that stuff. I think that's what he's doing. I'm not super opposed to it personally, because I'm all for like, let's go. There's 350 million people in this country. That's a lot of people that need to do a lot of big stuff, and there's really no corporation out there that's willing to do it at this point. And so we need to really do it. Have you seen the SN-15 launch? Oh, the SpaceX launch? You know what? I haven't seen the Starship launch. But it looks like they landed it, I guess. I'll definitely take a look at that. I'll probably get a copyright claim if I air it on the stream, so let's not do that. And by the way, like, if people have a fish question or something like that, I'm always willing to talk about that stuff, for sure. I just don't have time for people that have temper tantrums in the YouTube chat. That's life. James Handy says, open border never really worked well. I don't know what that means, but are you talking about border? Like border? Or like, I'm confused because James Hand, please rephrase comment or question. Not 100% sure. But as far as like the United States borders go, the reason that building a wall is stupid is that is like 3rd century technology trying to be applied in the 21st century. So, and the way that I'll equate this to you is that if you have a fence somewhere out in the middle of nowhere and no one's around, okay, sure, it's an obstruction for deer. Maybe a bird flies into it. Maybe a bunch of brambles get caught in it whenever it's windy. And you know what? It might be a momentary obstruction for a human being with tools in their hand, okay? The requirement for the border, whether it be through Canada and the United States, is going to require a ton of technological advancement to control the ports. So all of the stuff that come in on the shipping containers, which for some reason most people just completely ignore and don't. They just like, I don't even know what all those ships are. It's not a big deal. All of the air travel that comes into the United States. So people that come in here on a 6-week visa or a temporary green card or work visa or any of that kind of stuff, and then they just stay. All of that stuff's going to require technology, and building a physical barrier is pointless in the 21st century. It is 100% pointless. At the very least, if you build a wall like that, you have to put people out there to stand on the wall and monitor it, right? Because if somebody walks up to the wall, cuts a hole in it, and drives through it, they're just through. That's it. Like, if there's no one there to interact with them, then nothing happens. And by the way, standing out there with a gun and just hoping that everybody stays in Mexico or whatever, that has proved to not work at all either. So, doesn't work. Alyssa Bentley just broke my tweezle twazzles. Am I still allowed to be here? Hey, man, if you've never broke tweezle twazzles, I don't know who you are. But I've broken so many aquarium tools, it's ridiculous. Letting everyone crossing the border from Mexico into U.S. illegally. Part of asylum seeking is crossing the border. It's in the United Nations, it's in the EU, it's in the U.S. Charter. Like, all that exists is to get onto the country where you're trying to seek asylum to, because our Constitution doesn't extend into Mexico. Our constitutional rights are in the United States soil. So, and the same goes for pretty much every other country. That's why they have the imaginary lines drawn on the ground outside with the paint, is because our constitutional rights are extended to people that are standing on our soil. Whether you're from another country or not, you still have constitutional rights on the United States soil. So that's why they say get into the country that you're trying to seek asylum in, and then seek asylum. Like, that's how that goes. The unfortunate part right now is we're just not processing people in the way that they need to be processed. And people illegally crossing the border, like, I've, not to say anything about my own interaction, but I've gone across into Canada many times and back, and they've never even known what was going on. They just don't even care. So what about that border? Should we do that? Yeah. But 80 to 90% of the problems that we have are with the ports right now, is where most everything's coming in from. So that's really where we need the technology in order to get products moved in and out in a legal way, and make sure that our laws are being followed. What is this? Oh, sorry. Vicky's texting. Vicky just sent like a whole string of texts. George Biss says, can you put a guppy and a convict together? Just thought I would ask a fish. I wouldn't put a guppy and a convict together. I mean, first off, the convict would probably just eat the guppy, you know? So, I mean, unless you're feeding the guppies to the convict, like, I just... you know, I don't know, man, unless you're feeding them to it, and if that was your expectation, then yeah. Alex Kumanov says, we need to get rid of the Electoral College. Most likely won't, so I'll continue to keep fish, plants, etc. for my sanity. I just think we need to balance the Electoral College. It seems pretty clear that we're not going to get rid of it, but I think we need to start dividing our electoral votes per state. So Washington State does it some now, Maine does it, and Nebraska, and I think one other state. So instead of it being winner take all for like California, for instance, would be a perfect example. I forget how many electoral college votes, but for the sake of conversation, let's say it's 40. And let's say that California is 60-40, so 60% are Democrats and 40% are Republicans. The 40% of Republicans in California don't get any representation in the national election, right? So why would anybody that's a Republican go there to go lobby, right? And be like, hey, let's try to build a coalition and let's talk about what the problems are in California because we would want to try to get some California votes, right? But right now, if the Democrats win in that state, all the votes go there. Now, let's do a flip-flop here. Let's talk about Texas, where it might be 55-45. And 55% of them vote Republican, and then it just goes, all the votes go there. And then no Democrats ever go down into Texas and be like, hey, man, I'd like to just talk to you about what's going on, and this is kind of my plan, and here's my platform, and ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. None of that stuff ever happens. So I think that's probably one of the methods that we could make things more proportional so that they start to make sense. I think that's what we should do. But whether that can happen or not, hopefully individual states start doing it because that seems to be the one way that it would hopefully get traction and start going one way or another. But it's obviously going to have to start with some of the, I guess, smaller states are going to have to start doing it. I don't know. Maybe a big state would do it, but the unfortunate thing is, like, there's not a lot of motivation for any of the larger states to do it. So hopefully the smaller states start doing it, and we'll see what happens from there. Because if you had, like, let's say you had 20 of the small states proportionally sending their votes in that manner, you would probably start to see some of the other states go like, maybe we want to do that? Do we want to do that? Maybe that's a thing? Who knows? Mickey M. Mickham. Crown Princess Martha helped FDR to get the reality going on, or what the reality going on in Europe, and that it was just a matter of time until the U.S. was about to face the severe effects of the future. So one of the big problems with World War II issue was, so for the United States, we have natural impediments to the rest of the world, and that be the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. We have these gigantic oceans on either side. We have Canada and Mexico. There's only countries bordering the United States. So if you're getting along with Canada and you're getting along with Mexico, you're wicked far from anybody getting here. So that was kind of the big deal. It was like most Americans were super isolationist at the time, and if you look back at the polling on whether or not to get into World War II, most of the Americans were just like, nah, dude, who cares? That's not our problem. That's like that's them over there doing the thing over there. That was the basic public opinion. There were a lot of huge problems going on in the United States. The Great Depression was just winding up, wrapping up, that kind of stuff, or still effects of the Great Depression were still ongoing. So most of the people in the United States were like, we can't get involved with that. Like, that's way over there. We're over here. We got to deal with our stuff that's in our own backyard or whatever. So, yeah, that was kind of the public sentiment. And still to this day, if you actually look at like historically, like how World War II is covered in the United States, is that so when Pearl Harbor happened, that's all that they ever really talk about in U.S. history, is like they bombed Pearl Harbor. They also took over when Japan bombed Pearl Harbor. They also bombed like everywhere in the Pacific out there. They took over the Philippines on that day. They bombed all over the place. They bombed everywhere, and that gets kind of glossed over in American history and from the American side. And yet there's a billion Discovery Channel documentaries on Pearl Harbor. There was movies made. You spend 2 weeks learning about it in history when you're like 13 years old or something like that. And so a lot of it just ends up getting glossed over that way. How Am I says, drop a like, y'all. Hey, why not? But also to the open border thing, we've pretty much always had open borders. It's a relatively new thing for us to say, like, our borders are closed. So, I mean, I guess if you don't like the history of America, then I guess that's kind of an issue, but I don't know. Alana Suki says, not the tweezle twazzles. You can have mine. I can never get them to work right. Joel makes it look so easy, but I have -50 tweezle twazzle skills. Oh, man. Speaking of tweezle twazzles, I wish they would sell the CChem versions on Amazon or just online anywhere. I wish CChem would sell them online, because those are my favorite ones, but you can only buy them in store, which is sort of ridiculous, because even a little while ago, I tried to go to a store so I could buy a pair. I braved the COVID pandemic wilderness out there, and they didn't have any in stock. So that's pretty dumb, right? But the one thing, we were talking about plecos earlier, and just recently I got some so let me find these in my history. And when I say recently, I mean like I got some of these like a year ago, and I've been using them for my plecos, and they worked out fantastically. Why can't I don't know. Let me go to my orders. Where's that button? There's a button. Let's go. Let's see, because I can actually look up when I got them. Uh-oh. Well, now I'm not seeing them here. Water. Maybe if I look up water, I'll get. Oh, there we go. Oh no, I was gonna say a year ago, but it was 6 months ago. I got these 6 months ago, and they've been working out great. My plecos go in here, and they do sexy time. There's just really no other way to explain it. The plecos go in here. They do sexy time. They leave their eggs in there, and then the dude hangs out in there and watches them eggs. You know what I'm saying? These are plant watering spikes. That's what I was trying to remember. So they're designed for plant watering, but I wanted to try these out for a good amount of time, just kind of see how well they work. They didn't screw with my water. They don't seem to grow too much algae on them, which is normally like an issue, except for like right on the very top part. But the issue I have with the typical ones of these is that they are like orange in color. They're the terracotta color, right? And the terracotta color is triggering to me. I don't like it. I don't like it in a fish tank. It's like, oh, what is this weird orange thing over here? So I found it much easier to kind of camouflage these terracotta plant spike deals than being white, which is insane, but it worked out really well. So I could definitely recommend those. And if you go through that link and you buy a bunch of stuff off of Amazon, it'll just give me a commission. So do that, because That's good, right? I don't know. Yep, according to that series, the U.S. wanted to stay neutral. Yeah. Well, the problem is that the United States at the time had a lot more limitations on joining any kind of military engagement, and a big part of it came down to polling U.S. citizens. And U.S. citizens at the time were way against getting involved in the war because they remembered World War I. That wasn't that far. That wasn't that far off in their memory, right? And most of the American population, the citizens, were like, "Nah, dude, nah." I'm currently designing a 190-gallon, 200 by 60 by 60 centimeter top and bottom Euro braced with a 25 centimeter center brace, floating bottom. All panels are 12 millimeter glass. Drains are 2 by 1 inch drains and 3/4 inch return. Any suggestions? Planted. I don't know. I don't know that I have any suggestions. It should be a planted aquarium, 100%. Yes, for sure. I don't know that I have any suggestions, but this, where is it? Let me find a link. I don't have any association with, what do I have? Here it is. Okay. Whoops, I was clicking on the wrong thing. Oh, wait, let me go to their main page so I don't share the wrong page with you guys. What's going on? Go to the main page. Okay, here we go. HTTPS semicolon / So this place right here, I love ordering plants from, I want to say that his name is Steve. I might be wrong. I don't know. I love ordering plants from this guy. They're always very good quality. They might not be in like ridiculous abundance, as kind of would be expected about certain things that are like $1.50 for a small portion of them. So you may need to order like a couple of portions of stuff to get kind of volume. But he always has something that I've been looking for or something like that, right? And so I love going here to like look around at ideas. Super plant nerd, super plant salesman has always got stuff for sale that I'm like, ooh, let's see. I'm not seeing anything that I don't already have immediately. Anubias Pinto. Oh, I don't have any Anubias Minima. I don't have any of that right now. So that might be on the list. He actually has Bulbitis. He has the Guinea 2005 version for sale right now. I remember somebody was telling me that no one has Bulbitis for sale. Well, Liquid Creations has Bulbitis for sale. So definitely get that before it's sold out, I guess. I don't know. I don't have any affiliation with these guys. But I this is the site I love going to, just to look at like what's around, and definitely dig it. Woo! What is that? Aquatic Jack said Joel should speak at this new aquarium club as well. Show his love. He did a great job last time. God, I can't say that I did a great job last time. I can't say that. I can't say that I did a great job speaking last time. I have a million things I would have changed. But I would love to come down and do a speaking engagement. It would be fantastic. I would love to do that. Barnabas Roy with the follow-up says, yes, he's got species I've never heard of. Yep, he definitely will. You generally will have something that you're like, or like, oh my God, I haven't had that in 10 years or whatever, and that's a great spot. I love stopping in there, just kind of like look around and see what they got. compare some species. I've even done some comparisons on species that they had versus some that I had, just to see, like, identification-wise, if they were going to grow and be the same or, slightly different. Like, maybe this is a different variation. Who knows? Somebody said earlier that Corey was showing some of the work I've been doing. Just keep paying attention to Aquarium Co-op. I was involved in most of the stuff going on up at his new fish room. And Corey will keep you posted on all of the stuff going on there. So, kind of one of the reasons I've just been chilling on making videos. I've just been working on those kinds of big projects and not really, you know how it is. You work on those giant projects and it's like, I don't know if I can work on these video projects. It's a little weird. But happy to say things will be totally crazy for the next 2 weeks and then get generally back to normal where I can start making videos again, which is good because I have a lot of stuff to make for you guys for this summer. So we'll see how it goes. Anyone use Seachem Equilibrium? Yes, I have used Seachem Equilibrium. I used to use it a lot in the past. I don't really use it now. I don't find a big use for it now. I generally use what do I use? What's the name? I've lost the name. I've lost the name of what it is. Crushed coral and whatnot to get my my balance in and fertilize. And it's generally what I'm missing is going to be added by crushed coral being dissolved in my low pH handle in water. Generally buffers it up well enough that that I'm good to go. That I'm good to go with that. So I just don't use Equilibrium anymore. I also don't use RODI water anymore because that RODI water is just kind of a big cost for not a whole lot of inspiring effect from where I live. My water's really clean here, so there's not really a reason for me to do it anymore. Yes, I've used it for the endlers in the past. Yes, that's generally what I was using it for. All right, guys, 4:15, which means I got 3 more things to do before 5 o'clock when Olivia gets home from her school. Okay, no super chats today. Did everybody hit the like button? It looks, I don't know, we only have like 30-something people watching today, and there's a 900 million likes, so that's good. We'll get that going for us. We had to drop the band hammer, but hey, what are you going to do? Sometimes you got to do that. But either way, love you guys. Talk to you later. Hope you have a fantastic weekend. Hope you have a fantastic Mother's Day. If you forgot it's Mother's Day on Sunday, I feel bad for you, son. Get it together. It's Mother's Day on Sunday, so get prepared and figure out what the heck you got to do to be right. All right.